I'm feeling curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come in here with me. I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay. We'll take it slow.
Tomorrow.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here, and so is the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it's the Houston Rockets as they'll be playing against the New York Knicks. For the Knicks, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. With the new year getting ramped up, teams just getting into the swing of things. Kenny, some major storylines already brewing. What are you seeing out there?
Well, you know, the rosters aren't coming together yet, and it's still early. It's still tough to figure it out. But then there's a lot of teams that's just off the radar right now, but they've been impressive. So I think that it's too early to tell. You know, too early to tell to give those ELNs.
You're going to give me an answer.
I can't give you these ELNs, these Ernie-like numbers yet. It's too early.
Well, I see emerging young guns. You know, I see a couple of veterans now hitting the wall, physically getting up there in age. But I got to agree with Kenny, Ernie. It's too early to tell.
Jeez, I'm sorry I asked. Time to tip it off. Here's Kevin Harlan.
You asked too early.
Hello, and thanks for joining us, folks, for this midweek NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. The Knicks here to defend home court, playing host to the Western Conference. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. They'd like to change that now. We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, James Harden is a great offensive player, but there's no mistaking it. He does dominate the ball. Now, that can bother teammates sometimes, but Coach Mike D'Antoni says when they feel that paycheck every 2 weeks, that should make them play hard. You have to be a star in your role. So when James gets the ball to you, shoot it, and then run back and play hard as heck. Kevin?
Thanks. He's a great passer, David. There's no doubt he can set the table. Well-seasoned teams coming into this one tonight, Clark. A lot of veterans on both sides. I know you think that's important for both teams.
You know, experience, Kevin, is invaluable, and you only get that from going through the wars time and time again. So veteran players are able to bring that on a night-to-night basis. And they understand the nuances and what it takes to prepare to be ready to play. And so the little things become the big things, and veterans understand that.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Harden and Gordon teaming up in the backcourt. Anderson is down low with Capella. And it's Ariza in at the 3 slot. And so it's the Knicks getting on the board first. And the foul called on Porzingis. That's his first foul.
Yeah, quick foul to pick up right away here in the first quarter.
Here's Capella. Excellent D from Cantor. Houston on D, coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
For sure. Agree with you there. They just didn't have it. Seemed like they were a step behind and out of sync. Well, I like the way he orchestrated in tight that time, fellas.
Here's Houston now. 4-point game. Anderson right side from the arc. Connects from 3-point range. Anderson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Cantor with a screen on Harden. Porzingis kicks to Lee. Poke loose. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Porzingis. They get the rebound. The shot's good from Cantor.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
Throw good, James Harden. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. The way he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
And you know about Harden shooting and his ability to get to the line and all that, but you know, Clark, what some people don't realize is just how fast he's going end to end. I mean, he can just blow by players in the open floor.
Yeah, he's got deceptive speed, Kevin, and part of that is how he's worked to change his body from his college days at Arizona State to who he is in the NBA. He slimmed down a bit, but he still has that strength and that barrel-chestedness that allows him to play so well through contact. But you're right, his speed is lethal and deceptive.
Here's Sessions after Eric Gordon's bucket. Hardaway with it. And it's Gordon picking him up 16 feet away. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Hardaway has got his first bucket in this one.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. New York called for the foul.
And how about the career progression of Trevor Ariza? He came into this league somewhat as an energy player who, obviously could attack the rim. Now he's one of those guys who's primarily a 3-and-D component.
That free throw good from Trevor Ariza. For Ariza, his first few years in the NBA, over half his shots came within a few feet of the rim. Greg, now over 2/3 of his shots are from beyond the arc.
And that's just how it goes for some players in the NBA. Ariza still, he has some bursts to finish at the rim, but has turned himself into a deep threat, and he's always been a presence with his defense as well.
Yeah, you chronicle the career of Trevor Ariza. He came into the league primarily as a slasher and transition scorer and a good defender. He's done a nice job reinventing his game as he's gotten older, and now he's much more of a 3-and-D type player, impacting both ends of the floor.
It's Harden with the drive, makes it off the glass.
And Harden is so efficient as a scorer. When he gets room down low, he's very good at burying these shots.
They get a hand on it, and stolen by Gordon. And Harden with the stuff.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
And Ariza is certainly, Clark, of the 3-and-D mold as a veteran. That is often what players on the perimeter need to do as their athleticism starts to decline.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Ariza can still run the floor and occasionally punch it down on you. There's no question about that. It's just now the bulk of his contributions come off knocking down threes. He's had a very long and productive career and has really done a nice job of adapting to whatever his team needs from him.
How on earth did they let him get that wide open?
Here's Capella. A second chance effort. Harden with the bucket, getting it done inside. Harden's got 10 points.
Boy, Harden really does a nice job maintaining his focus, not letting the defense dictate his shot selection. And believe me, this guy is a master. Actually, he's got a PhD in scoring.
And Harden comes to help. Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
And Lee pulls it down.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Sessions, no good. Houston in the lead. Ariza goes in. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Got to admire the penetrating ability of Ariza. He's quick at cutting inside and often finishes with style.
Cantor with it, and guarded by Capella. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Clint Capella. And Greg, with Enes Kanter last season, he had to miss significant time with the broken hand, but his offensive game is something to watch when he's healthy.
He just plays hard. He provides that instant offense off the bench, a great array of post moves to pick from.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And Cantor drops them both. And last year, one of the bigger surprises in the NBA, the Houston Rockets.
And remember, absent Dwight Howard, a lot of people thought maybe they're going to take a step back. And in the year where several other super teams in the league kind of took a step forward, the Rockets were able to hold their own. The team has a system that works, and they have bought into it. And top to bottom, they've been making smart decisions.
And, you know, Kevin, that's what they want, an uncontested look from the perimeter. Sadly, they came up short on that possession.
And the basket by Gordon.
Quick release from Gordon. Like seeing him shoot it as soon as he gets it.
Knicks trail by 6. And Gordon over to help. Cantor dishes to Sessions. Outside Hardaway. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
Sessions doing a nice job that time.
A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Capella's got his second bucket of the night.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Here's Harden, and Harden with the stuff.
Ferociousness from Harden, looking like he wants to tear the rim off.
New York's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That is his first foul of the game. Ntilikina, he's checked in for the Knicks. There's a screen by Cantor. Ariza brings the double. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. James Harden is second.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
And it's Harden slamming it down.
And Harden, an absolutely vicious dunker. Terrific at bouncing towards the rim for the epic throwdown.
And that last replay, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And so New York calls timeout. They're first. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And, you know, Greg, they were sinking shots left and right, and that's got to be demoralizing for the defense. They were in a real zone.
Well, Swiss center Clint Capella is up there as one of the most efficient players in the league. He's only 22, but he's efficient mostly because all his shots come right at the basket, right on the doorstep. Last season, he finished near the top of the league, in fact, in field goal percentage.
And for a while, he was leading the league, if I recall correctly, Kevin. Capella knows who he is, what he's about, and what his team needs from him. So he finishes off his chances that are created by guards penetrating. Not flashy, but very effective.
A moment to check out stats for Gordon. Last season's performance for him, he was around 16 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go. I like what I'm seeing right now.
That one doesn't go. Lee against Ariza, and he drops it in from the low post. Ariza's got 6 points.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
Here's Gordon. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. 6 points for him. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Rockets.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Ariza with the bucket.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
No good from Lee. Rockets leading by 16. Ariza goes in. That's his 4th basket of the game, and he's only taken 4 shots, off to a good start.
How about he has yet to miss 4-4 to start?
Yeah, he's setting himself up to be their go-to guy today.
New York calls timeout. Ryan Anderson was a free agent before coming to the Rockets. When he was meeting with teams, he saw all the open looks that Houston players were getting from outside, and he wanted to be a part of that. Worked out pretty well, I think, for him.
I don't think you can deny that at all. I mean, perfect hand in glove is what this fit was for Anderson, and he knew that. The way Houston plays, perfect for what Ryan Anderson brings to the table. He's great from the corner or wing and is deadly as a shooter when he has space.
So for the Knicks, Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Cantor. Doug McDermott comes in for Courtney Lee. And it's Baker in for Tim Hardaway Jr. The Rockets also changing it up. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. And Bahamute comes in for Ryan Anderson. And it's P.J. Tucker in for Trevor Ariza. And that one, good.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range. They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint. And this guy, to me, embodies determination. Small at his position, but he still gets up and keeps plays alive. That's mind over matter for sure.
Now here's McDermott. An 11-point game for him in the win against Denver. The rebound by Harden. Harden's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
And New York making a change here. Kuzminskis is checked in. Free throw, Mbamute. Good. Clark, you were a fantastic rebounder your entire career. What do you feel gave you the edge over the other players in the glass?
You know, one of my fellow Buckeye greats, actually the greatest Buckeye of all time in basketball, I think, was Jerry Lucas. And he talked an awful lot about rebounding being more about timing and pursuit of the ball than anything else. And I had a good gift of timing, and I clearly was chasing down that pumpkin as well as most. And those were the things that allowed me to be a good rebounder: good timing, good hands, and pursuit of the basketball. It wasn't complicated, but some of it was giftedness. The other part was persistence and hard work.
Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Harden. Stolen by Harden.
It's kind of a comedy of errors for them in this first half thus far. Just been all over the place. And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Clearly in great rhythm. They've got it going on, I mean, in a big way. Excellent job at establishing a huge lead early on.
Here's Kuzminskis, and the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Just too many miscues here in the early going.
And it's not hard to see why they're down. I mean, it seems every trip down the floor, they're giving the ball to the other team.
Here's Harden. There he goes again. That's his 9th straight basket. He's a perfect 9 for 9.
Hard to believe you could have this kind of a flow. Unbelievable.
Talk about putting up points in a hurry. He can't miss right now.
Here is Harden. 29 points for him last game against Philadelphia.
And we got to talk about his 4 steals on the night. That's a complete performance at both ends of the floor.
The Knicks shooting well right out of the gates here at around 50%. Pass to Kuzminskis. In the corner, it's McDermott. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
Mbamute inside, and it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. With this break, we have a chance to break down where the assist has been coming from tonight between the front and back court for New York.
And really, their guards have been the ones that have done the bulk of the passing and shot creation. Sometimes the ball handlers will look to score more down the stretch. We'll see if that becomes more of a focus.
Knicks trail by 21. To the left side wing. And again, New York with the triple.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
I think they're playing too soft on the perimeter. They can't stay so soft. They've got to get up into the shooters here.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Got that one up quick. And it's 8 points for Doug McDermott.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And the basket by Gordon.
And really, the three-point shot is Gordon's specialty, Kevin. When he squares himself up, there's a real high chance he's dropping it in.
Picked by O'Quinn. Now here's McDermott. T right on him. Here's Baker. They get it again. O'Quinn can't get it to fall.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
Tries again. Harden with the bucket, getting it done inside. Harden's got 22.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
The pass to Kuzminskis. Using his post move to get the 2 points.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
Nene misses from short range.
Boy, incredible effort on defense, refusing to give him an uncontested layup. Nothing easy.
They double him with Nene. Out to the right wing. Kuzminskis kicks to Baker. Inside. Stolen by Tucker. Knocks it loose. Here's Ntilikina. 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. Ntilikina's got 5.
Boy, it's good to see Ntilikina get going, especially from the mid-range area.
And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Rockets lead by 16. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Rockets here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Just jumped all over him, Greg. I mean, pounced on him, using their length and quickness to come away with those steals.
Here is Harden. And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so in the game for the Rockets, Harden and Gordon teaming up in the backcourt. E.J. Tucker is out there with Luke Mbamute. Then it's Nene in at the 5 down low. Now here's Beasley. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Pass to Ntilikina. Beasley the screen. Kuzminskis kicks to O'Quinn. 5 on the clock. Mbamute with the steal. They push it up 4 on 3. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Houston Rockets, one of the most explosive scoring teams in the league. Defense has been a shortcoming in the past. Coach Mike D'Antoni said, we have some good individual defenders. If the rest of them just try, well, that's the plan. Kevin?
Offense is what the Rockets are all about, D.A. You know that. Coach D'Antoni definitely focuses on this part of the game more than defense.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Right side, Gordon. It's not going to go for him. And New York will come the other way. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. And that will be the third of 5 straight played at home. Kuzminskis, no good.
Boy, strange that he bricked that one. I mean, no clue where the defense was, and tell you what, they got very lucky.
One of the hardest things, Clark, to defend in the league is the pick and roll. What do defenders need to key on when they're defending a pick and roll?
Well, I think a couple of things. One is you want to try to dictate where the pick and roll is going to happen and where you want the ball handler to go. And then there's got to be great communication. The two guys involved in the screen and roll have to be on the same page. There's got to be a lot of talk. And then the 3 guys maybe not involved have to be ready to help their teammates. So communication, a real sense of trying to dictate to that ball handler where you want him to go and what you want to give up, because you can't take away everything when you're defending a good pick and roll combination.
And the Knicks making a change here. Sessions is checked in. He hits both from the stripe.
And I think Harden is a natural leader. Somebody that commands respect, who also happens to be a dominant scorer.
And Sessions kicks to Beasley, and Harden comes to help. New York moving it around. Back to Sessions. Picked by O'Quinn. Stolen by Harden. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. Banked in off the glass. Harden's got 28 points for the game.
You know, tremendous and wonderful balance from Harden. This dude could have been a running back of the highest caliber with his size, dexterity, and balance. Never lets the defense get him out of his rhythm.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
for the Knicks. Cantor, he checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Lee comes in for Kuzminskis. Hardaway is subbed in for Ntilikina. The Rockets also changing it up. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Anderson comes in for Mbamute. And Trevor Ariza is subbed in for P.J. Tucker. Now here's Sessions. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Here's Lee, following the score by Trevor Ariza. Cantor's shot is off.
Boy, Kevin, he just clanked that one. I mean, surprising because the defense wasn't really in the picture.
A nice shot by Anderson.
I like seeing Anderson take it strong to the rim. I mean, deceptive quickness from the big man there.
Now here's Sessions. To the paint, here's Beasley, and it's Beasley finishing it off.
Awesome feed there. That pass was on point.
On offense, here are the Rockets. They're on a 14-4 run right now. Anderson can't get it to go.
Well, he mistimed it just a skosh. Don't think the defense really had an impact. I think he just flat out missed it.
Here's Lee. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Denver. Shot clock at 6. Off target from three-point range.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
The Knicks have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Harden. Ariza goes in. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Ariza's got 14 points.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
All alone, and it's slammed in by Ariza.
Outstanding presence of mind. Harden is constantly looking for the open shooter.
New York's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Screen by Lee. Beasley, the pass to Sessions. Cantor with a screen on Harden. Sessions dishes to Hardaway. Tipped away. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Hardaway. Now we'd like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. In second, the Rockets.
And this team, in terms of scoring off of turnovers, that became the identity. I mean, they really look to disrupt and cause problems defensively, and boy, do they take advantage on the other end.
Now, here's Capella. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia.
And Eric Gordon has long been noted as a terrific shooter, but I felt like he was able to display just how great he can be last season. Had that green light whenever he was on the floor and really near the top of the league in terms of threes attempted and made.
And Anderson gets it to go.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Now here's Hardaway. He's coming off a 13-point game against Denver.
But it didn't deter him from attacking defensively. His pressure was terrific. He also got 3 steals in that game.
And it's Gordon missing. And for Gordon, he's been a great catch-and-shoot player in the past, Greg. The difference last season was the improvement in his pull-up threes.
And there is a world of difference between shooting a 3 off the pass as opposed to off the dribble. The pull-up threes are what make players like Steph Curry so hard to guard. And when Gordon added that to his game, I think it helped his overall ability to score the basketball.
Porzingis is checked in for Michael Beasley. The Knicks have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Porzingis can't hit.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
The Rockets have made the most out of their opportunities at the line. They have yet to miss in 7 attempts.
One shot, line the lanes.
Well, Clark, you've been in the booth for so long, but I have to ask, have you ever toyed with the idea of coaching or working in some team's front office? I know you did briefly for the Pacers.
Yeah, I did, and I enjoyed it. I was working in player relations, player development with our guys off the court, and loved it. But it just wasn't something I could sustain at this season in my life. Not interested in coaching. I've never really been, because my career path went towards broadcasting right after I got done playing, and I paid my dues and have grown in this profession. And I would want to do the same thing in coaching, and I just don't have enough time in front of me to do that. So I'm happy to be around the game in this capacity. Coaching never lets up. I get an off season as a broadcaster.
Yes. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And a chance here to take a look at the shooting chart for Harden.
Right now, after looking at that chart, you pretty much can just jog down the court. He gets it in the paint. Just time and time again, he's worked his way in close and made a shot over a defender or found another way to convert. Just great stuff coming from him thus far.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And Cantor drops them both. Houston's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's Capella. That one a little long. For New York, they've gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Back to Hardaway. The shot's good. Sessions making him pay. Sessions has got his 7th assist in the game. And the dunk by Capella.
Hey, he's not going to mess that one up. Capella, when he's that close, count it.
And Sessions kicks to lead. Teardrop shot, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one is on Ariza.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
The Knicks have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
And looking at the career of Courtney Lee, has hopped around from team to team a bunch of times and always a valued teammate, but just hadn't stayed on one team for very long.
And both free throws good for Lee. And with Lee, you know exactly what you're going to get with his defense and shooting.
And Lee is always going to be a wanted commodity. His ability to defend and shoot aren't easy to find, and you just hope he's able to kind of settle into a long-term situation.
Now here's Porzingis after Clint Capella's miss, and it's in there.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole. Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
Tell you what, you'd hate to be the guy having the responsibility of guarding him.
Bucket is good. Cantor's got 18 points. Houston in total control. Capella with it, Cantor covering. Capella with the bucket.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And he just elevates and powers in the one-hander.
Textbook.
I'm glad he didn't go overboard and... Woo! And, the energy Ariza possesses, impressive, fabulous at converting despite getting bodied up.
New York's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. They get it again. Here's Hardaway. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
And Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of a former all-star point guard. Junior, not maybe the same ball handler his father was, but he can sure fill it up. And I really feel like he's established his niche in the NBA.
2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. And Hardaway Jr., a 6'6" shooting guard out of Michigan. Talk about his game a little bit for us, Greg. Analyze where he is.
Above average in terms of his athletic ability, improving defensively, and right now he's playing off the ball, whether spotting up or filling the lane. I think this guy's got a chance to be special. He's passionate, and boy, does he compete.
That one misses.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, as they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
Here's Capella, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. It's on Porzingis.
And, you know, Capella has a big body, Kevin, and knows how to use it as he draws contact from the defense on his way up.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And the free throw line was a problem spot for him in their last game. Really struggled up there.
Yeah, you know, he had a lot of misses for him, and it looked to me as though he just never was comfortable from the foul line. You know, yeah, guys, last year was a rough one for him at the stripe. I mean, it's going to be hard for him not to improve on those numbers. They were that bad.
That's good from Capella.
Oh, I tell you what, it's really impressive how Capella has improved his role so quickly, Kevin. I mean, he's a starting caliber center known for his defense, but continues to make strides on offense, too.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Enes Kanter, and it's Baker in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Both good from the line that time.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Yeah, you have to make teams pay for fouling you. That's why they call them free, and they've done exactly that, made them pay.
Baker passes to Porzingis over Mbamute. They get it back, and that one drops. O'Quinn's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
And you might as well ride him, Kevin. When he's hot like that, feeling it, Capella needs to be ridden and ridden hard.
The wide open look here for Porzingis. Buries the long-range jumper. Porzingis has got 5.
Yeah, it's such a sweet three-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside, because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
1:21 left in the first half. McDermott, no one around him, and a miss there on the triple.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Shots good from Mbamute.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, their offense has really been productive this half, and I absolutely love the shots they've taken so far.
Back to Porzingis for the 3. Cans it from downtown. Porzingis has got a pair of triples in the second now for New York.
Well, I liked the first quarter he had. I mean, and I'm loving the second quarter even more. Playing with a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's been orchestrating all game at a high level.
Yeah, making his teammates better through his passing. Greg, you know about that because you did it. Great job sharing the ball.
Well, I appreciate it, partner. Always important to have somebody keep rhythm in the game. Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
The Knicks have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
At the line for two.
Two shots.
And he makes the first. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. And so Quinn nails both of them. Houston's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Nene dishes to Tucker. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assist. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
And O'Quinn kicks to Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Man, I like how close Porzingis gets to the rim. I mean, he knows when he's this deep, the defense really has no chance to keep him from dunking it.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Stolen by Tucker. Here's Harden. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
That's just really good clock management there. I mean, that's how you close a quarter.
And so it's Houston going to the break, holding an enormous 36-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back to the action after this word.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome, everybody. So far, a pretty one-sided first half. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. James Harden was the man in the first. He had 30 points, 9 rebounds, and a crazy number of assists. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
I'll tell you what, James Harden has reached a new level offensively. It's the threat of the score, the threat of the pass, and the ability to completely control the pace of the game. He's also developed as a leader, the kind that younger guys can learn from and look up to.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
Well, they're obviously facing a hot shooting team tonight. That combined with a lackluster effort on defense, recipe for disaster, Ernie. Without major improvements defensively, this game is O-V-A, over.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
The skyline of Midtown Manhattan so beautifully lit up tonight as we welcome you back to New York City. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
And you know what, Greg? He's showing no signs of slowing down now. This game has been all him, and he's been a force.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. We've got Lee. Enes Kanter is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Ramon Sessions. And it's Hardaway in at the 2 spot. They're the group for Jeff Hornacek starting the second half.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
The Knicks have shot 8 of 10 from the line. That's an even 80% free throw shooting here. And the first one drops.
You know, one of the great strengths of Coach D'Antoni, to me, Kevin, is he really gives his players a lot of confidence. And his philosophy really clicks with players. They're comfortable playing for him. They know their responsibilities, and they play hard for D'Antoni.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And to what you said about Mike D'Antoni, he sees his players and asks, what can they do, instead of what can't you do?
And, you know, he's had a lot of success last season elevating the Rockets and winning Coach of the Year in the process.
Lee passes to Cantor, and Capella sends it back.
And every season, Capella has improved as a shot blocker. Timing, awareness, recognition. He's really good at erasing shot attempts.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Knicks.
And what a big-time game we've seen from him. He's been the one looking to create and get a shot each trip down the floor. Every time a shot falls, his confidence just grows and grows. Just an all-around tremendous offensive showing.
Shooting two.
That free throw good from Trevor Ariza.
And, you know, Trevor Ariza continues to have an impact on both ends, guys. An amazing defender and an excellent shooter, too.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition teams. The Rockets 4th.
I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
Knicks on defense. Here's Harden. And finally they hit one. Harden's got 32 points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
No one near Sessions as he lets it fly. Traps in the tray. Sessions has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And it's Capella missing. New York's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Porzingis, bank shot, no good.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And there's Eric Gordon on the assist by Ariza. Ariza's got his 3rd assist on the night. Knicks have gotten just 1 of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. There's the screen. Sessions dishes to Cantor. Poked away. Right at the free throw line. Hardaway, no good.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half.
Here's Capella.
Goodness.
Mercy, mercy me.
Oh, here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rim.
Boy, the guys on the bench loving every minute of that one.
Lee with the ball. He's picked up by Ariza. Passes it to Porzingis. Drills the three-pointer. Porzingis has got 13.
I don't think we'll ever see another 7'3" player who can drain the three like Porzingis. He takes the idea of that inside-outside threat to a whole nother level.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. It's Harden with the drive, and he banks in the layup. Harden's got 34.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
There's a screen by Cantor. And Sessions kicks to Cantor. Stolen by Cantor. Hardaway with a wide-open look. And it's James Harden with the rebound.
Misfires again, and the ball just refuses to cooperate with him. It's a tough day so far.
And the basket by Gordon.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Well, constantly finding lanes to the basket, getting great looks inside.
And Harden comes to help. Cantor, the pass to Sessions. Lee against Harden. Rocket 6. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
So a moment now to see the story on Tim Hardaway Jr. Last season's performance for him. Last year averaged 14 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now. That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
New York's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Sessions dishes to Hardaway. And Capella over to help. On the wing, Lee inside. The shot's good from Cantor. Cantor's got 4 points this quarter.
And he can take over in a nanosecond. I mean, once he catches fire, it's difficult to squelch it.
Here's Capella. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
It's stolen by Capella. For the finish, and the dunk by Capella.
Capella, for a big guy, really runs the floor fluidly. Always nice to have a big man who's good at the rim run.
For New York, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Lee kicks to Cantor. New York moving it around. Sessions sets the pick for Lee. Dishes to Cantor. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J. Cantor's got 26 points. Harden, that's good.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Sessions with it. Pass to Porzingis. There's a screen by Cantor. Stolen by Harden. The Rockets another fast break opportunity here. And the dunk by Capella.
Sheer power there from Capella. Not an easy guy to contain when he's going up with the shot.
The Knicks have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. It's stolen by Capella. And it's Houston on the break. The shot from 20 feet away. No good off the back of the rim.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
Here's Sessions. In the corner, Hardaway with it. That ball's great assist by Ramon Sessions. Sessions has got 9 assists now tonight. Here's Ariza. Not enough on that one as it misses. The Knicks have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Knocked loose. And it's Gordon penetrating, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. Gordon's got 6 here in this quarter. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Houston.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. That's just pure effort and hustle.
The Knicks have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12.
At the line for 2.
Free throw good, Sessions. So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Kuzminskis comes in for Porzingis. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Courtney Lee. And it's Ntilikina in for Hardaway. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. And Bahamute comes in for Ryan Anderson. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Brown in for Eric Gordon. Here's Brown. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Brown's got his first points of the game.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Kuzminskis kicks to Sessions. And there's the call on Nene. That is his first foul of the game. Baker, he's checked in for New York. Here's Ntilikina. He's covered by Brown. Kicks it to McDermott. 4 on the clock. Here's Kuzminskis. Hits it from three-point range. Kuzminskis has got 7.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene. New York's gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. They double him with Nene. O'Quinn with it. Picked up by Nene. McDermott passes to Kuzminskis. No good with the triple. And for Houston, their shooting has been just uncontainable. 72%. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
Here's Kuzminskis. Cranes the three-pointer. Kuzminskis has got 6 points in the quarter.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the D just hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
And the Knicks hit again from deep.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
The Knicks shooting it beautifully here in the third, 56% from the field. From past the arc. Offensive rebound. O'Quinn. It's blocked. Here is Mbamute. Hangs. It's laid in by Harden. Harden's got 38 points.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Here's Kuzminskis. Second shot opportunity. The shot's good from O'Quinn.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
New York shooting an efficient 53% from the field. He kicks to McDermott. Picked by O'Quinn. McDermott passes to Kuzminskis. Taken away by Nene. And it's Houston on the break. Here's Tucker. Finished off the break. Tucker's got 6.
And showing a good nose for the ball there. Picks it clean, then he's off to the races.
Well, excellent defensive instincts. I mean, knows exactly when to strike on this end.
Got a piece of it. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Let's give a look now at the 2K leaderboard to see who led the league in assists last year. James Harden, number 1.
And it was the kind of season that he'd like to repeat over and over. Nobody was better at creating easy baskets for their teammates.
Brown kicks to Nene. That falls. Great assist by Bobby Brown. 8 points for Nene.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game, phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
Kuzminskis, no good. And for Houston, their shooting has been just uncontainable, 72%.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Harden. Last season, he played outstanding. First in assists, second in scoring, and he was also among the top 20 in steals. That ability is more unique than folks realize. Very valuable defensively.
And dropping a lot of dimes. He led the league in assists because he's the ultimate competitor, an absolute magician with the basketball. He misses the free throw. And New York making a change here. Beasley's checked in, and the Rockets making a change here as well. Ariza's checked in, and taking care of the ball has been a problem for him.
That's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced.
Here's Baker. Beasley the screen, launches it.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
And Brown over to help. Now the pass to Baker. To the middle. And O'Quinn kicks to Beasley. Floats one up. No good that time. Some solid defense there by Nene. And slam dunk by Nene.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Yeah, and the confidence really at a high level. Very impressive. They feel like this game is theirs, dominating right now.
Poked away, taken away by Nene. And it's Houston on the break. Ariza's got the ball. Good work there as it goes. Ariza's got 24 points.
No hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
Fast breaks yield easy buckets, guys. They've made the most of their chances in that regard. The defense not able to get set, get a running start to the rim. You should get a good number of scoring chances that way.
And the rebound goes to the Knicks. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. It's stolen by Ariza. Lays it in off the breakaway. Ariza's got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, that's 3 of their last 5 baskets in transition.
Ball's knocked loose. Pass to Ntilikina. Here's Kuzminskis. Beasley the screen. Ntilikina loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Ntilikina's got 7 points in the game. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Rockets ahead, ending the third quarter on a 14-4 run. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. The Knicks shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. E.J. Tucker is out there with Williams. Then there's Brown. Then there's Nene. And it's Onuaku in a shooting guard. New York with the ball. Clark, when we talk about the importance of what a player can do, how important is it for a player to know what they cannot do?
Very important. Understanding who you are and what your skill set is and how that fits with your team, critically important. Not only knowing it, but then embracing your role within your particular limitations, skill set, and teamwork.
Passes to Kuzminskis. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
You know, that's what you love about Ntilikina. I mean, very unselfish and constantly looking to set up his guys.
Here's Onuaku. It's rebounded by New York. O'Quinn's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And Brown over to help. Hernan Gomez is checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. They set the pick down low. Here's Baker. And the rebound goes to Nene. Nene's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Count that bucket.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
They get a hand on it. One-on-one here. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
And league expansion is something that simply won't leave the conversation in the NBA right now, Clark. Do you think that the NBA adding another team or two is inevitable?
I don't think it's inevitable. As a matter of fact, I think we're at a good number where we are, Kevin. It's still the best league in the world, and I think you could dilute that a bit if you added teams. So I'm fine with where we are.
And he knocks down the first one. Sessions checked in for New York. Blacks checked in for the Rockets. And Brown drops them both. The Knicks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. And Brown over to help. To the inside. And that one's good. Sessions.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
Williams dishes to Black. Over Hernan Gomez. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Here's Sessions. He's been feeding the ball very nicely. 9 assists now tonight.
He's been the ultimate distributor here tonight. It's showing up on the stat sheet, but more importantly, it's going to show up in the win column.
And the Knicks making a change here. Thomas is checked in, and a change for the Rockets. Gordon's checked in for Nene. Rockets have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus. Just make the simple play.
Baker passes to Thomas. Trains the three-pointer. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question.
And he should be. I mean, remove all doubt. Get it down hard and simply.
Williams kicks to Black. It doesn't go for him. Now the Knicks take it the other way. Thomas with the ball. Williams picks him up. And it's Beasley in the corner. Thomas gets a wide open look. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Here's Brown. Here's Onuaku. Here's Black. He shoots again, and he lays it up and in.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
That's tipped, and it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. Brown against Sessions. Knocks it loose. Now the feed to Black. Hernan Gomez grabs the miss. New York's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And Sessions kicks to Hernan Gomez. New York moving the ball around. Got a hand on it. Here's Onuaku. And here is Thomas. Thinking back to the great Warrior team from last year, Clark, how do you place them in a historical context for what they accomplished?
Well, they're on a short list of one of the great teams of all time in terms of winning a championship and what they did throughout the season to do so. You'd have to consider them as one of the outstanding teams in the history of the NBA.
The Knicks have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Now Gordon. Here's Onuaku. and he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
The Knicks shooting it well here in the fourth quarter, 50%. Beasley the screen. Here's the screen. And Thomas has it in the corner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Black in the post. Hernan Gomez covering. A nice shot by Black. New York shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. Here's Baker. Here's Hernan Gomez. The shot off that time. And Houston the other way now. They've got the Hawks ahead of them in their next game, and it's in Atlanta. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
And, Greg, they're really controlling the pace and game right now, rushing, pushing the break, and leaving the defense in its wake.
Here's Williams. That falls. Great assist by Bobby Brown.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Sessions against Brown. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Here's Gordon. Finished off the break.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Here's Baker. Looking to end the run. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Boy, I like seeing that toughness on the offensive glass. Did a nice job judging, anticipating where the miss was going, and then putting it back in. Nicely done.
Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Thomas.
One shot, find the lanes.
On the free throw, no good. Rockets shooting it well here in the fourth quarter at 50%. Gordon, and it's Houston with another.
On a roll now. He is on fire.
Give him the ball, get out of the way, and let him play.
They set the pick, and it's Eric Gordon with the foul. That's his third foul of the game. Right wing, here's Baker. The shot's good. Sessions making the play. Sessions has got 10 assists here tonight. So active. And the shot goes in.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Here's Baker, defended by Gordon.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
James Harden, he's checked in for the Rockets. Williams comes with a double team. Hernan Gomez passes to Baker. Poked away, just 5 on the clock. Beasley dishes to Sessions. Fires for 3. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And Houston the other way now. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Rocket shooting nearly 70% from the floor. They are putting on a clinic offensively. Black, no good.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
At the line for your Knicks, Ramon Sessions. Taking 2 shots.
He misses the free throw.
And they are shooting themselves in the foot here. They've lost their touch at the line. The percentage continues to drop from where it was in that first half.
Kuzminskis, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. And he sinks the second. Now here's Tucker. Goes up the baseline. And he gets the kind bounce as that one drops in for him.
Yeah, you know, we've seen Tucker extend his range over the years, but it's still not that extended. I mean, this in-between area is probably more his natural comfort zone.
At the line for your Knicks, Ramon Sessions. At the line for 2.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
Free throw good, Sessions. And so Sessions nails both of them. So it's the Rockets now. Feeds to Nene. That falls. Great assist by Bobby Brown. Brown's got 6 assists in the game. Knicks have gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the fourth. That's about 43%. And Kuzminskis gets it to go. Kuzminskis has got 13 points in the second half.
It's really been a tale of two halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
Here's Baker, and Harden comes to help. Kuzminskis kicks to Beasley, and it's going to be a 3-second call.
Simply missed a connection there. I mean, I like the unselfishness. Admirable, but just not the result.
Ntilikina, he's checked in for the Knicks. And the Rockets with possession here. It's Brown with the drive. And a fast break now for New York. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Line for your Knicks, Ron Baker. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. Second free throw, no good.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Harden, that drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. Harden's got 40 points.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Here's Kuzminskis, guarded by Nene, 13 feet away. Knicks working now with a fresh shot clock. That one good for 2. That's now 8 points for Beasley.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking, jump shot, gave a little pump fake, and then off to the races.
Stolen by Nene. Poked loose. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beasley. Harden left side. Drops in the layup for 2. Harden's got 42 in the game.
Man, I love how easily Harden fills it up. Scores in so many ways, making it look easy.
Beasley with a clean look, and the rebound goes to Nene. Nene's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And it's Brown missing.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Pass to Kuzminskis. Yes, indeed, it is good. He's now 8 for 14.
And really, that's what you want every time down the floor. A simple, high-percentage shot.
Here's Tucker. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Houston.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
Greg, I don't think it'll play out quite that simply, though. The team coming out on the losing end of Game 1 is just that much more motivated to get even in Game 2 and 3. So I think the edge goes to the losing team.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for James Harden.
What more can you really ask of a guy? I mean, when you come out and get a triple-double, making contributions all over the place.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
They'd lost 2 straight coming into this one, and he knew he needed to put his foot down. He's shown leadership tonight, getting them back on the winning track. Houston making a switch here. She's checked in.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession.
Man, you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer, but they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
New York's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the 3rd quarter. The dish to Beasley. And that one, good.
Ntilikina is a terrific passer, always looking to share the ball whenever the opportunity is there.
Harden, no good. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they've played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Here's Williams, and then Williams slams it in.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
And, Greg, you know how hard it is to win on the road, but they seem to have this one firmly in control and have been very impressive today.
Williams with the steal. Here's Chi, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great teams know how to close it out.
So we see Houston taking the W here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, James. Congrats on the win. Looked like you guys really had a lot of confidence and really had a lot of flow offensively.
Yeah, we just tried to move the ball and make the game easy tonight. We did a great job of actually just guys getting shots, easy shots, and our defense really stepped up.
Yeah, great team performance all around, James. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you later.